It's hard to believe that it's been almost a year since 16-year-old Preston Lord was beaten to death at a Halloween party in Queen Creek.
Town's police chief now speaking out, promising to do everything he can to try to stop this teen violence.
12 News journalist Bianca Bono has been covering this story from the very beginning. And Bianca, what did the chief have to say?
Well, he was very candid as he looked back at the last year, even choking up at times. This was a painful case, not only for the community, but for the Queen Creek Police Department, which investigated it. 16-year-old Preston Lord's death was the new department's first and only homicide investigation. And because the details were so tragic and hard to stomach for the community, there was extensive pressure on them to solve the case quickly. The department receiving thousands of tips, conducting hundreds of interviews, combing through endless videos and social media messages. It took them 2 months to recommend charges and 3 additional months for those arrests to come down. Today, I asked the chief about that timeline. Take a listen. What would you say to community members who still feel like, looking back, it took too long?
While the detectives had a really good idea of what happened, pretty much right after the event happened, it takes more than just our supposition or our thoughts on the case. We have to have actual evidence that would help support that in the prosecutorial phase. So I took on, as head of the agency, really that difficulty and that pressure to say, look, we're going to do this the right way. We're going to take the time we need to make sure that we do this case right. Not just because it was our first homicide, but because this was such an impactful event. I hope when people look back and understand the scope of what we had to deal with, 2 months was lightning speed.
And our interview lasted for close to 30 minutes. In that time, I also asked him if he's had the opportunity to interview all 7 suspects and if any of them showed any remorse during the investigation. I also asked him, now that the criminal process is underway and these 7 suspects make their way through the court system, how would he feel if plea agreements were extended to any of them? His response to all of that and much more is coming up tonight on 12 News at 6. For now, we're live in studio. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
And Bianca, it's really surprising when you look back and reflect on everything that's happened and the domino effects. I mean, from the community really coming together, rallying together, to all the arrests that ensued in neighboring cities all around.
It had such a domino effect. I think this case touched everyone who heard about it, especially the investigators who lived and breathed this case every day for months. But it's pretty incredible when you look back. It's only been 1 year, and that 16-year-old was able to cause so much change in just that short window of time. The community is a much better place today than it was 1 year ago.
So much has happened. Bianca, thank you.